Meet Michael and Hannah. Michael and Hannah both just recently graduated from college and are on the hunt for a job. They have been interviewed and both called back in to hear from the companies today. For this situation, we are going to view how it would pan out in different areas of the world. Here we see both of them with their job offers and salary on the other side. Here's what would occur if we were in Sweden, now in South Africa, and lastly, how this situation would go if we were in the United States. Do you see the trend? Nowhere in the world do women make the same amount of money as men. Sweden has always has one of the highest rankings for how they deal with the gender gap, which is why I included them for this example. And over the recent years, the United States gender gap issue has just been getting worse and worse. So what causes the gender gap? There are many arguments for why the gender gap exists, and some of these reasons are that the gender gap isn't actually a real thing and that women make the choice that they want to get paid less than men, that women's choices do contribute to it, such as their college major, occupation, and hours at work, but those that say that it only contributes to a very small portion of the gender gap. And lastly, discrimination and bias. Each year, the EEOC gets at least 15,000 complaints of sex discrimination in the workplace. Getting passed for promotions also contributes to this. A woman's chance of getting promoted is 34 to 47% lower than the chance of a man. One of the biggest issues is that complaints of discrimination and harassment are not taken seriously. A lot of women find themselves scared to report because of being threatened to lose their job if they report about the harassment, or other times women are even paid off not to report it. Here we see a study that was done on 782 workers, claiming that 31% of female workers claimed to have been harassed at work, 62% of the targets took no action, and 100% of the women claimed the harasser was a man. One of the biggest issues is that complaints of discrimination and harassment are not taken seriously. A lot of women find themselves scared to report because of being threatened to lose their job if they report about the harassment, or other times women are even paid off not to report it. When comparing the United States to South Africa has worked diligently to work on how women are seen in their country. In their parliament, there are more women than men, and they also have very low levels for social discrimination. Unfortunately, women are still treated very poorly, but they file complaints and make sure that something is done about the individual who committed the act so it doesn't happen again. Another big issue in the United States is how women are treated when they become pregnant while at work. There have been many cases of women being treated differently, not getting promotions, being demoted, and even as far as getting fired if they are pregnant. In the chart above, it shows the comparison between the United States, South Africa, and Sweden on the weeks of maternity leave given. Sweden comes in at the highest with 68 weeks, South Africa offers 17 weeks, and the United States offers 12 weeks. The main difference between these three is that the United States only has 3 states that offer paid maternity leave. In South Africa and Sweden, they both offer paid time off at about 80% of the regular salary they would be making if they weren't gone. Now that you know more about the gender gap, I hope you will now keep your eyes open to see what you can do to help lower the width between gender gap. Thank you.